Make sure the mic set up. All right, bro. I gotta get back on my routine, man. I got like a whole roster. It's gonna take a while, man, for me to get through all of these MVC2 characters. But once I do, bro, it's gonna be awesome. So I guess the last character I worked on was Jin. I think he's done for the most part in regards to the tweaks I have to do. Don't worry, I didn't forget I have to do charge or add charge moves to the entire roster too, so that they can charge their power meter. I'm not sure why the base game didn't have that either. So here's the initial idle for Jin. And for this I just did a physics drop. I know I added a blink animation. And I think that's it. So his scarf and his hair should fall into place. And also he should blink now. And it looks like that. Sorry about the collision boxes. I'm not sure how to like turn them off. That's what it looks like now. The blink is really quick. And also it's kind of hard to see. But that's it. The most important frames in this really is just the physics drop there. As you can see, I'm gonna move on. I think for the crouch, I edited the crouch. I have no clue what I did. My memory's bad. Plus, it's been like a day and something. I'm gonna just play it. Okay, so he's got a physics drop. He's got a full breathing animation for his chest. Looks like it's animated too. His crouch also, and I added a blink to the character, and that's the end result. Physics drop is kind of it's very quick, but the physics drop usually is the first few frames like this. See it? Everything falling into place, and then it goes into the idle, which is on a loop start. And this is the end result. I like it. Looks more lively. Yeah, it's really cool. All right, I'm gonna close this out. I gotta move on, man. God, I gotta go A through. I'm only on J, and I gotta go A through Z for the base roster, whatever. So I'm just gonna just go down to the characters underneath Jen, and I'm just gonna keep looking until I get to a character that's just a base roster. I think Juggernaut's base roster. I gotta double check though. I think it's just Juggernaut. It might be Juggernaut Classic. I'm gonna open up the select file here. I'm gonna do a quick search. I think the best way to do a quick search or search function from here, which is programmed into the new studio, is Control F. And I'm just gonna put Jug. See what it goes to. Juggernaut. Yep, there it is. Basic base Juggernaut there. I gotta be careful. That might be a different Juggernaut. I have a couple versions of them. I have a modern version of them, and I have the old school. And here it is, Juggernaut Classic. See, I almost made a mistake there. Hayato, sorry. Yep, this is base game. So Juggernaut Classic. So what I'll do from here, close that out. Go back into the characters here. Data. Let's back out one. Go into characters. I know it was Juggernaut, so I'm JU, and I'm open up the Classic. Can't think enough anything I could tweak for the Classic, to be honest, because most of the tweaks I've been making to these animations are physics based. There's really nothing on this character to drop. The most I could do for this Juggernauts, maybe, I don't know, maybe a blink. You can't even see his eyes. Let's just play it. Oh, this is tough. Uh, I guess I can do a blink. I'll just do a quick blink for this character. There's not much you can do to Juggernaut, unfortunately, because he doesn't have a lot going on. I did a quick duplicate, or rather, I made a quick duplicate. I'm gonna work on threes, so that'd be a triple digit for the index. I'm gonna open up the sprite editor. I'm gonna zoom in here. Um, what's the proper way to make a blink here? All right, yeah, I gotta be artsy fartsy. All right, whatever. I'll be artsy fartsy. I'm gonna make a blink here. Oops, it's gonna be a bit complex here. I'm gonna have to play around with the gradients for the brown to get the look I want. I could probably make that black low key. Sorry about that. I talk to myself sometimes. This is a really dark brown. This looks like part of the armor though. Looks like in the skin, this is the darkest tone. I'm gonna take this, or I will take this, and I'm going to put it here, and I'm gonna apply it here. And then Actually, I can apply here. And I think here, no, that's fine. And now what I'm gonna do from there is I'm gonna take this dark tone specifically from the armor because it makes sense. And I'm gonna just draw the eye in like this. I think that'd be good. I'm gonna leave being very careful, staying aware of the little pixel I put there. Kind of necessary, and that'd be a good blink. That's fine. That's fine. I wish I could do more with the like creating gradients with the brown, but this gets the point across that his eyes are closed, and it's also giving off a shadow here underneath to indicate his lids, his lower lids rather. So I'm gonna save it, close it out. So there's my blink. Save the sprites, jump back over to the animation. I worked on triple ones. So what I'm gonna do typically for the blink is I usually triple it up. So what I'm gonna do is triple up the animation set like this. I think he breathes slow. He's working on 6 frames though, which is it ain't fast. I can put the blink. I'll keep the blink in the third, and then I'll plug it in right here. Apply, close. All right, and let's play it. It should be on a loop start by default. So I'm gonna play it. Now watch his eyes. Boom. You have a blink. Looks nice too. It's a nice deep blink. Yeah, I like that. That was good. Gets the point across that he's closing his eyes or whatever. For a physics drop, I can't do a physics drop on his chest because he's got on metal. You can see the sheen right here on his armor. So that's a no-go. He's got pretty sturdy or pretty solid armor holding him in place. He doesn't have hair, so I can't do physics for his hair. Frame-wise, there's nothing I can add to it. So I'm gonna just leave this alone. I'm gonna move over to 11. Oh no, the dreaded 1 frame. See when it says 1 by 1, that just means 1 frame. And then this is just the ticks or the time frame, basically frames. And it's only working on 7 ticks, which means the time is 7 for this 1 frame. So basically his idle's not animated. Uh, First thing I'm gonna do for this idle is I'm gonna create a blink. So I'm gonna duplicate it, work on my threes. I'm gonna do a triple one, so it's 10 triple one. I'm gonna open this bad boy. I'm gonna edit this. Let's put the blink in first. I'm being very aware of the setup for his gradients or whatever, because it's important that keep his eyelid or the some semblance of his eyelid in there. I think this would be fine for the blink. Maybe I could do something here too to indicate his eyelashes peeking through the bottom of this helmet. I'm gonna save it. That's fine. That's fine. Save it. Jump over. Well, I can't add the blink yet till I animate this. So what I'm gonna do from here, I'll save that for later. And actually, I can rename this. Make it 999. So what I have to do here is I'm gonna animate, or I'm going to animate this crouch. I'm gonna back out, take one final look at this, just to see the speed of it or whatever. He's got hand movement. Moving circular actually. So now the question I have is how artsy do I want to get here? Okay, let's just get into it. Less thinking, more working. Jump over to the sprite, duplicate the sprite. Again, I work on threes, so I'll do a triple one for the first one. Open it up. Uh, what do I want to do here? This is very tricky. Maybe a backwards movement. I'm gonna do a backwards movement just for now for this frame. So I'm gonna take what I want to move, shift it back one, take the eraser, delete anything I'm not shifting on the bottom layer. So that's pretty much everything behind him. I don't want to shift any of this stuff, including his this portion of his leg. Okay, clean all the artifact in here, and then, uh, and then. Sorry, it's oh my God, I can't believe I just did that. That's from Dude, Where's My Car? Such a good movie. Sometimes I do that. I'll just go overboard with the eraser just to see, okay, if there's anything left over, like residual, and there is too. I gotta make this eraser smaller here. I'm just gonna delete around the fist like this. That gets the point across. Kind of nervous there. I don't know if I deleted part of the boot that I should have. Okay, I see where it ends. Ends right. Actually, I'm gonna have to trace this. I just noticed something there. So about right here, I can get kind of wild with the erasing. Okay, so this fist has been properly shifted back. I think I should trace around his arm here. So I'm gonna take the eraser and I'm just gonna carefully go around the back of his fist and his forearm like this. What I'm doing here is making sure that there's no I call it artifacting. Make sure there's no stray pixels or whatever floating around. Doesn't look like it. Looks like I did a good job with the shifting. Again, I'm getting wild with the eraser to see what excess pixels or whatever I may have missed in this gap. I keep forgetting I'm on the bottom layer. I may have just made a mistake. I keep forgetting I'm on the bottom layer. I think I just deleted all that for nothing. So that's fine. That's fine. I'm Control Z and then Control Y, by the way. Yeah, because this is the bottom layer. On the top layer, you blow the eraser up, and this is where you trim the stuff you don't want to move. So I think I just made a mistake. I did all that for nothing. Yeah, I just made a mistake. Dang it. I try to work smart, not hard when I do this. So when I make mistakes, I kind of, I take it out on myself a little bit. Okay, so I'm just trimming. I'm just trimming around his upper body and forearm here. Save me the headache of having to deal with like stray anything really. That's weird. That might be something I just deleted earlier. That's really weird. Whatever though. I'm just gonna carefully delete the stuff around here. Okay, that's fine. All right, so I'm gonna go back to the bottom layer. I see an issue there, which I can quickly tweak. Draw this back in. This shouldn't be taking me this long either. All right, drop the frame, drop it back, drop the frame, drop it back. Hit that top layer, take this eraser, make sure I got the bottom of his arm here. Okay, let's try it again. Drop the frame, drop it back. Okay, so that's a proper shift of his upper torso back. I'm gonna do some tricky stuff here in a second. Save, close. Think about shifting that fist. This fist specifically. I'm gonna just do it. I'll do it now. Just to play it safe. I need this fist to not move. And I just did a shift back. So I'm gonna shift that back forward. Take this eraser here. Just trim around the fist like this. Gotta be careful. Gotta give a little bit of leeway so that I don't hit the wrong thing here. That'd be a big mistake. Kind of a headache to deal with later. Okay, so that should be fine. Drop the fist, drop it back, hit that back layer, get the back of this finger right here, and probably the back of this fist. I think that's it. Let's try it again. Drop the fist, add it back, drop it. Add it. Just looking. Bottom layer. I'm gonna hit this bottom layer, right? Like that. Drop it. Add it. I don't like that stretch on his forearm right here, but I don't see a way to tweak it. Ah, got it. It was on the fist or around the fist. So save it, close it. I think that's it. So that's my first frame there with his new movement. And that for this frame, I shifted his body back. So what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to shift one more time. So I'm going to do a duplicate, and this one's going to be pretty tricky. Triple to it, open it up. I have to do some layer expansion here. So I'm gonna go to properties. I'm just gonna raise the height a few pixels. So because he's still shifting, actually that wasn't even necessary. I'm not going upward with his body movement yet. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to okay, I want to shift him downward. I'm gonna copy paste. I'm gonna shift him back and downward this time. I'm gonna jump on the eraser, hit the back layer, blow that eraser up, delete everything from the back. I need to speed up too. I have like a time frame I try to keep with these videos. This is the bottom layer I'm clearing out, by the way. And I call it artifacting, but anything behind wherever I'm shifting, I always do that for. And then things I don't want to shift, I'll trace around it. For instance, I just shifted this whole torso. So I'm taking eraser tool on the top layer and I'm just deleting the stuff I don't want to see moving. Like this. My best friend came over today. We just played like a bunch of video games and stuff. We were just like relaxing, just like talking about random crap. He's pretty nice, man. Seeing my bro again. He's got like he gets the nostalgia that I get for certain stuff. So it was pretty dope having my boy over for a little bit, hanging out or whatever. He's got like an interest in a lot of old stuff that I have an interest in too. It's kind of jarring sometimes. Sometimes I forget that my best friend is like, my best friend for a reason. All right, so I shipped all this crap. Uh, let's drop it. Okay, I'm just dropping it, replaying it, taking a quick look. That looks fine to me. I didn't notice that. To me, that looks good. And I can't remember what direction I shifted in. Down, so down and back is the new direction. Uh, down and back. Okay, so if he's going downward and back, maybe I could shift this fist up. I'll do that in a second. Okay, I just closed and reopened it. Low key, I want movement on this fist too. I'm gonna focus on this one though for now. I want movement on that other fist though. I did down and back, so I'm gonna shift up one. Trust me, this probably makes no sense to you, the things I'm doing here, but there's always a method to my madness. So basically, this will make sense in a second here. You just gotta kind of bear with me, like most crazy, genius people. It's kind of hard to read them. So that's what makes them crazy. Okay, tracing the back of the fist. All right, I may have gone too far there. Again, I'm tracing the back of this fist. All right, it's better. And I think that's it. I did a shift up for the fist. Let me make sure just the fist is shifting there. Yeah, the fist is shifting. All right, it's fine. Save it, close it. And again, I want to do something with this fist here specifically. Thinking Shift this fist up to or to the right. I'm thinking shift it to the right. So I'm gonna play around here, but I'm definitely going to shift this fist. So I'm gonna grab this hand here. Maybe I should move his forearm. No, the fist will work. So I'll just grab this, copy paste. I'm gonna move it back. This can get really confusing, but if I do this properly, it'll be a dude. The animation is gonna it's gonna look great. It's gonna flow so well as if I mad scientist this properly, which I likely will. Thumbs crossed. Oh man, I gotta eat, bro. Getting kind of hungry. I eat a lot, man. It's probably why I'm so dense. I noticed that when you're like muscular and you're heavy, you have to eat so much food. All right, I'm gonna trace the back of this. I just want the fist low key to just shift. And it's fine if I trace this shadow here because it'll look like the fist is stretching, which is fine. So I'm just carefully tracing here around his fist or whatever with the giant eraser. Make sure there's no artifacting or whatever. Okay, I'm gonna test it out by dropping it. Okay, yeah, only the shift, or rather only the fist will shift. So save it, close it. Okay, so that's frame two. So I have to memorize the things I'm doing too. I went back one for triple one, and then I went back and down for two. So now the end goal here is I want to move them in a circular motion, right? So I'm gonna duplicate this frame, triple three it. For triple three, I'll just open it, and I'm going to proceed to shift him back in the the position he originated from. So I'm gonna shift him back. Being very careful here. I'm actually thinking quite hard about this. I think this will be fine. Uh, this fist, maybe I can move this fist. Crap, I'm probably thinking a little too hard about this. I'm gonna shift this fist to the left. I'll do that later. I'm gonna jump on the eraser, blow the eraser up, hit the bottom layer, make sure the artifacting or anything behind the stuff that I'm shifting now isn't there anymore. Like this. Jump back to the top layer, trim around his arms, or rather his torso. This takes a lot of thought, dude. You really gotta understand like physics, how the body, like anatomy, how things shift and move and movement. I see why Marvel or Disney doesn't pay for 2D spriting and stuff. This takes so much effort and work, dude. I think comic artists are like the best artists on the planet. They're underrated too. Everything's 3D now. Everything went to like CG or whatever. And that's someone who's like talented. I'm very skilled in like Maya, Blender, etc. Even I even took a I took classes for something called AutoCAD, which is weird term, but it's basically like the stuff we use to make CGI in movies. I'm very well versed in that. Graduated quite a few courses. Take a look at this here. But long story short, CGI in that it's not tough to make. And the upside to CGI is once you're done with the model, you can just manipulate that model. But for hand-drawn art, for like sprites and stuff like that, different ball game, man. It's so hard to do that stuff just because um what you have to do about a frame. Having to draw something frame by frame is the most meticulous, time-consuming thing, and I think it's underrated. Just spiders in general. 2D games are fascinating. which is why we evolved, not even evolved. That's why we switched over to this 2D CG style. I think the most prominent or current version is probably ArcSys. ArcSys has really got a handle on that, but I'm not a fan of it. Even though they've gotten it like strangely close to being traditional, like 2D, hand drawn art, but it's not hand drawn. You can still tell it's models. I'm gonna jump back in. If I remember correctly, I said I'm gonna switch this or shift this fist over here. So I'm gonna take this. I will take this fist, just shift it back like that. Take my eraser. I'm gonna just carefully trace around this fist. Carefully. Speaking of 2D, like good fighters or 2D games or content in general, me and my bro played Streets of Rage 4. Dude, that's the greatest 2D fighting game I've ever played, dude. Side scroller wise. Really a masterpiece. I'm currently working on a Mugen project or Eichmann Go, whichever one you play. You can really use it on both. But I'm working on a Mugen program that has like a crazy detailed roster. It's got like Guts and Cloud and Afro Samurai and Taki from Soul Calibur and Vash the Stampede. That's an obscure one. No Gene Starwind. That's a more obscure one. It's got Link. Like my roster's crazy, and it's very legendary, hand-picked roster of just like characters I've never seen, characters I want to see in 2D fighters, but just never got their shine. Like Guts in the 2D fighters insane, and I pulled it off. I know a while ago there was a Guts released for Mugen. It was like a 2D sprite of Guts that I think his name's Agi. It's either Agi or Ozzy. But long story short, some dude made a Guts a while back, and it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. It's just I'm a picky dude, and when it comes to like my 2D fighting characters or games in general, I like high res. Like if something's low res, it's an immediate like it jars me. All right, so I shifted that fist back. Close this out. That's pretty much what I wanted to do here. So frame one was shift back, shift frame two was shift back and down, frame three was shift forward. So frame four, which I'm about to make here, I'm gonna duplicate. Um, trying to be careful here with my thought process. Okay, so frame four should shift forward again, but it should also go upward. So I'm basically shifting him back to his initial position. So what I'm gonna do is open up Sprite Editor. I'm gonna jump in, same old stick, just grab this top torso portion of him. I'm gonna shift it in the direction I want to go. I'm gonna quickly take the eraser here, trim around, just trim and delete the things I don't want to move. I have to be very careful here too. Noticing it's taking this outline with it, which is very dangerous by the way. Yeah, my reshade's gonna read that like a nightmare. Let me trust me that I have a reshade that removes the pixelation or it ups the resolution. It does not play well with like mistakes in the art. It'll hone in and pick it up immediately, and it never looks good. So I have to be like, unfortunately, kicking and screaming. I have to be like kind of perfect when I'm creating these sprites here. That's gonna give me headache. I'm gonna have to manually draw in all this stuff that I could trim here. I'll fix that later. Trying to stay aware of everything that I'm shifting here. Okay, in the back of this, whatever. I'll just draw it out. So I'm gonna hit this back layer here, delete all the artifacted or whatever that's behind the initial frames that I just shifted, or rather the initial part of the character that I shifted. It should be just this. What I was doing on the top layer, I was tracing around the hand like that because this is typically what I'll do to delete anything I don't want to shift. And I use the giant eraser because there's usually leftover residual like pixels and stuff everywhere. And that can be kind of irritating. I'm gonna jump back. I need to draw all this stuff in here. So I'm going to be a little artsy fartsy here. Okay. I didn't mean to do that. That shouldn't have like an effect on anything though. Should be fine. Okay. That looks decent. That's better. I think this should be red. Uh, I can kind of tell what's going on here. I think all this should shift back. This low key is the wrong color. Pick a darker brown, just kind of plop it. Oops. Dang. I'm going to just plop it on top like this. I think this black should shift back a little bit. This, and I think this too. Like that. So I think this looks fine. I'm gonna drop the layer, just take a quick look. I see artifacting under his elbow. So I'm gonna take the big eraser on the top layer and just delete closer to the arm there. Get rid of all that nonsense. Clearly this should be red. Yep, it is. And I'm just gonna draw over these straight pixels right here, including that. Alright, that should be it. Low key, I think I could use this. This lighter red, I think I can bring this down like that. I'm looking at something else too. Yeah, I see it. I need to tweak that. That's gonna freak me out. I think that's it. So I successfully shifted them back up. I could finagle the fist. Yeah, I could finagle his fist a little bit. Like I could make one go down, like this fist here. I could make it like shift it down or something, which I'll look into right now. So moving upward. Technically, this fist shouldn't move, but I already shifted this fist a couple times. Let's backtrack. Take a look here. So that's 4. Okay. Yeah, he's got a good movement going. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then back in place. Pretty sure that's back in place. I might take 2, duplicate 2, open up the arranger here. What's that? 10, 2. Shift 10, that new 10, 2 I just made down and put it after the 444. And that's right before the blink, which is 999 there. Then I'm going to shift over. Ooh, look at his fist. See the shift of his fist? Look like he has some gibberish going on too with the his legs. See that? All that shifting and stuff is happening there. Okay, I'm just thinking. Drawing his elbow. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back drawing his elbow properly, and maybe I could alter just this sprite specifically a little bit. That elbow comment applies to every sprite though. That applies to everything. I'm gonna have to do that literally for every sprite I just made. But I can save myself some trouble here by just kind of finishing this off the old way. I noticed there's some shifting here too. So I'm going to carefully move this up about right here. Take the back of that boot, the red, shift that red over like this. I think that'll do the trick. Just give a little more stretch. And I'll go look at that. I think that's fine though. Save it, close it, back out. Okay. I see something else I can fix there too. I don't think that should be moving at all. So that black line, let me get that black line first before I forget. So this line right here is shifting over when it shouldn't. And I'm just going to reapply the red right here, which I think that should be good. I'm not sure if I should go down 3. I won't risk it. I'll leave it like that. I'm cooking. I can smell my food too. Might have to take a break here. So I'm going to fill in this elbow part. It kind of got expanded when it shouldn't during the movement. Save it, close it, go to 4. Okay. I don't mind a little bit of shifting and stuff down there. It's fine. It only gets dangerous when there's too much stuff going on, because it'll freak my reshade out. Save it, close it. See what the frame before looks like. Okay. Shift back, shift down. Isn't that curious? So this black pixel, I'm sorry, I have to get that. This pixel has to go. Looks like there's a little too much going on here with the elbow. So I'm going to delete that, get rid of that. Maybe delete this too. Hold on. I forget you can toggle through the frames inside of the editor. This isn't reading the outline like it should. That should fix that. Okay. This looks fine. I don't need it like perfect because I can tweak this later, you know. Shit, okay. 2. So this is the first shift. This looks alright. So 2, 10, 2. Oh, isn't that interesting? I'm looking at his front foot. Okay, let's fill that back out. I'm not sure what I was thinking when I deleted that. It might just be a mistake that carried on, but this should be filled in like that. I'm gonna try switching the frame inside of the editor just to see what it does. Oops, that's a mistake. So instead of exiting out, I'm gonna fill this in. I'm gonna back up like this. Oh no, do you want to discard? No. Okay, so that was a bad idea. I thought I could have sworn this toggle goes through the sprites. Save it, close it. So I'm gonna take a chance here. I'll play around with it with the functions later. Take this up some. Okay. That's crazy. I'm not sure if this goes straight up though. I feel like it does. Yeah, it do. Okay. Yep, I see it. Okay. I actually like that movement backwards though. So I'm going to re-delete just a couple right here. I like that effect. Looks like his boots moving, his foot is moving. Okay. Shift back. Okay. Yeah, it looks fine to me. And then the blink. If anything, I'll probably just play around with his fist. Yeah, likely his fist here. I don't like how they or do I? I don't know. I'm just gonna have to animate it in to see. Yeah, I'll have to animate it. I think I'm in a good spot anyway. Triple four. I'm just gonna name this triple five in case I want to tweak it later to make it more like fluid. But I'll do triple one through triple five for my new sprites. Save it out. Jump into the animation. I'm about to plug them in. Excuse me. Okay. So for my separation here, usually what I do for my naming convention is I'll do what's called prep, and I do it invisible, which means with a semicolon. And my prep phases is usually my physics drops. Cool thing about Juggernaut here, he don't have them, or rather he doesn't have any. So I'll just go straight to the idle. I'll make an invisible idle text. Go down. This is the initial first frame that he started with or whatever for his crouch animation. I'm just gonna duplicate it several times for 5. And yeah, I think it was 1 through 5, right? And then yeah, I think it was 1 through 5. Pretty sure. 111, 222. It's right now it's on 7 frames. I'll tweak it and see. Oops. I'll tweak it and see if 7 is like suffices. If not, it's not a big deal. I'll just slow it down. 7 low key might be really fast, but I'm about to find that out. Apply. Also before the idle, typically I'll put a loop start, and that just means replay whatever's under this word. Okay, so I'm just gonna play it. Huh, that's actually a pretty decent speed. That looks good, don't it? Just one thing is missing though. That actually looks surprisingly good. The one thing that's missing here, same thing I did with the blink, triple it up, and then I gotta add the blink, and I believe the blink is 999 here. So I'll just 999 it, apply, close, and let's play it. There we go. So that was Juggernaut's crouch. It's fully animated now. This is for MVC2. It's no longer sitting on one sprite. And on top of animating it, I also gave him a blink for this character too. Should feel and look way more alive than the default. In regards to anything like floating pixels or whatever around his arm or his body, his upper torso, really things that I can see very well myself. I'll tweak those later or in between videos. It's not like super important or whatever. But while I'm here, I'm gonna tweak just a couple things so they don't freak me out. Some kind of a stickler for perfection at times. This I definitely need to fix this. Okay. Okay, that works. Yeah, that works. Way better, right? Save it out. Okay, let's play it again. Alright, that's a little better. So that's it. That has been Classic Juggernaut for MVC2. I tweaked his idle animation. I only added a blink to the idle. And as you can see here, I tweaked his crouch. I just brought the character to life in this crouch pose um, by giving him movement and also a blinking animation. Stay tuned for another video or the next character in the next video alphabetically. God bless.